I was walking around and people are like, Rank, we're really excited about what you've been doing so far this year on Fantasy League One. Tough matchup this week against Charles Melton, and thankfully, he gave me a little bit of a boost because there was kind of a bye week bonanza this week. There were a plethora of fantasy points left on the bench from a lot of teams, namely Charles Melton, who put DK Metcalf on his bench.
Yikes.
To start Deshaun Jackson.
Ooh, what was he thinking there?
That was an interesting call.
That's interesting is a good way to put it. That's a kind way to put it, I think.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have given up the second fewest fantasy points to running backs this season. You stood to reason they would be throwing the ball an awful lot.
It makes me feel like he doesn't actually watch Fantasy League One, which is sort of disappointing, Charles.
Didn't we talk about DK Metcalf for the entire Sunday show?
Disappointing, Charles.
We were pumping him up, and you know what, literally during that Sunday afternoon game, I didn't realize he had made that change. So every time DK scored, I'm like, this is bad. Because I knew both of his running backs were going to go off. I'm like, this is crazy. And I'm like, oh, he put in Deshaun Jackson. So that's too bad. Another big one, too, was Candace. Now, the one thing that we love about Candace is she's not afraid to crowdsource some of her fantasy dilemmas here. And so we had kind of nudged her in the direction of maybe not playing Kyler Murray this week.
Yeah.
She said, and I traded Matt Stafford to her. She put him, she played him over Carson Wentz. Even then, she was deliberating about that. But Stafford went and ended up outscoring all three of her quarterbacks.
Yeah, Kyler kind of had a suck out a little bit. That 88-yard score kind of saved his day a little bit. Stafford would have absolutely outscored him by a ton if that hadn't happened. Great call, but it's good.
Yeah,
good
well, what wasn't a good call?
Yeah.
Leaving Jamison Crowder on the bench. And you called it, Mark,
I
again. Marcus took a Hippocratic oath to give the best possible fantasy advice, even when it could have harmed you. And what happened?
And, it didn't harm me because she left Jamison Crowder on the bench. Although I did also say start Matt Stafford. So either way, I put myself in harm's way. But Jamison Crowder was really good this week against the Dolphins. He gets a lot of targets from Sam. That's about the only thing Sam Darnold could get right kind of this week. The rest of that offense was bad.
You have that USC connection, so that was pretty good. But you know what's funny is celebrities. They're just like us.
It's crazy. It really is.
It really is, because we also made some bad roster decisions by leaving some points on the bench. Marcus?
Yeah, I started Mark Walton over Devin Singletary. So I left Devin Singletary on my bench.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, well, not good. It all fell apart. Sort of like this fantasy footballers banner that just fell off.
Bummer.
No.
Bummer.
Yeah, so I wish I had that one back. That would make it more interesting, because I'm down 3 points this week to Candace. I still have Evan Ingram going. The problem is she has both Saquon and the Cowboys' defense. So I could have used those 23 points from Devin Singletary. It would have helped a little bit.
If Evan Ingram scores 3 touchdowns, you're still in it, maybe.
And Saquon decides to just take a break after the first quarter, maybe. Yeah,
and no Leighton Vander Esch tonight, right?
Right.
So maybe.
You never know. Somebody had a crazy win. Was it Candace who had a crazy win against Charles at one point?
It was
starting Baker
he
Mayfield.
needed 5 points and couldn't quite get him.
The craziest things could happen, and another crazy thing that could possibly be happening in fantasy football, and we'll talk about a player I left on the bench, was Ronald Jones. I got a little bit of cold feet there. I had, obviously Latavius Murray was on a bye week, so I had to bench him. I'm obviously going to start Aaron Jones, but I went with some other loser. Oh, it's Royce Freeman. And I benched Ronald Jones.
And you hyped Ron Jones on the Sunday show.
I did. Well, listen, I was helping everybody else out. I started him in another league, but it doesn't matter. We're only talking about Fantasy League One. But the crazy thing is, Bruce Arians came out today and said that that Ronald Jones has earned the opportunity to be the starter.
Attaboy, Bruce.
For the love of God, can we just get one running back to play for the Bucs? Like, that player will be awesome.
Yeah. He'll be
for
amazing.
God's love.
Yeah.
It's going to be Dare Ogunbowale, because that's just how our lives go.
What about the Patriots fan over here?
Yeah.
Not only did your team not win, but what happened to your roster last night?
Yeah, so last night, right before the Sunday night game, we were talking up Sony Michel versus James White the entire time, and I was like, you know what, with Rex Burkhead in there, you got to be nervous about Sony Michel, so I'm going to play James White. And then at the last second, something came over me, and I think someone hacked my lineup, because I had James White in my I made the stupid mistake to put James White on my bench, and he got 43% of the targets, Sony Michel got 1.
Yeah,
What's that like?
4 touches yesterday.
Yeah, it was 4.
Yikes.
It was terrible. He got 4 fantasy points, James White got 16. It probably wouldn't have helped me because FaZe Clan had Christian McCaffrey
Right.
and Lockett. So I'm kind of, digging dirt, as they say.
So you're
Is that what they
already
say?
out of
Do they
it
say that?
anyways.
Yeah, so that makes you feel a little bit better.
So
Like,
you
you're like, I
needed-
wouldn't win it.
But you
Yeah.
know what? It does sort of make a lot of sense because at that point, when he has somebody or when they have somebody that big go off, two guys go off like that, you need that home run threat, and you need a Sony Michel, please score me 3 touchdowns in a game, which we've seen before. So I understand what you were doing.
Right, or even if I played White and I got that 16 points,
Yeah.
then maybe Dak would only have to score like 25, 30 tonight instead of 50, which,
Yeah, White was tackled on the 1-yard line again last night. Obviously got in the end zone, but he could have had 2 scores.
But it's fantasy. Press your luck. Will we be pressing our luck on these players who had great Week 9
Can you explain the
performances?
rules?
Or will we get a whammy?
Yeah. So
Wait, is
in
this
press
the
your
whammy
luck,
game?
This is
are
the
we going to
whammy
go
game.
back? Are we going to go back and we're going to try it again? Are we going to try to? We're going to press our luck. We if you played these players, you
Like a
got away
French
with it
press,
once.
like a press of a sandwich.
You're going to press your luck. No. Where you're pressing your luck. Like,
Use
hey,
a
you
French
know what?
press to press your sandwich. Is that what
Really?
you just said?
I mean, French press coffee and
Oh, there you
press
go.
like a panini press.
There you go.
That's
So,
probably what we
same
were
thing.
talking about. Kenyon Drake
Oh, yeah.
was good on Thursday night. Are you pressing your luck with him, or are you afraid a whammy's going to come out?
Oh, my God. He was such a whammy on Thursday night against the 49ers. I mean, he
no,
did so
no,
great
no.
against that defense.
Whammies are
Did you
bad.
not watch
Whammy-
my cold open?
whammy
I
was bad.
interviewed
I saw the cold-
everybody in the building, and literally
Pablo-
besides
Pablo
one,
had it
Pablo
right,
was
though.
the only
One
one who
person.
said
Pablo was the only
it
guy who had it
one
right.
person. Did you watch the beginning of the
Do you
show?
think Austin was going to tell, Austin will tell you whatever you want to hear. He
Yes.
wears,
So
he wears a
back to
flat brim
Kenyon
hat.
Drake being a whammy. He was so
No,
great.
he was really good.
I think on Thursday,
So you're not
Marcus, you
playing him-
said that Kenyon Drake wouldn't even be able to find the cafeteria in the
Well, I'm saying
Arizona
that he probably
facility.
didn't know where it was because he had been there for like 2 days.
Right,
probably
but
doesn't know
look at
where
what
it
he
is.
did against this 49ers.
Yeah, I mean, he knew where the
defense.
end zone was, apparently.
Right. So I am going to press my luck and put him in a French coffee press and play him.
You love it.
I don't even know what that means.
I like
No idea.
whatever. You're going to play him. I like seeing the number 41 as a ball carrier. Wasn't that Jamal Charles' number at Texas?
Definitely.
I don't know.
I don't know, honestly.
All right,
No idea.
knows. Okay, that's,
I don't know. But
I'm
I will,
glad
I will
asked.
press my luck with him because I just think the volume's going to be good. Because, I mean, look, Chase Edmonds is still hurt. I'm not sure what David Johnson's situation
knows?
is just yet. So I will press my luck with Kenyon Drake.
I think DJ is coming back this week, but as long as Kenyon Drake is in there, like the Cardinals, they basically their offense is so conducive to these great running back performances because these defenses can't stack the box against them because they're playing so many receivers at once. Drake looks awesome in that scheme. He's
He's
the
definitely
perfect
not a
back
running
for it.
forward.
Well, it's funny, too, because David Johnson is still currently the running back 14.
Oh,
Even
yeah,
after
yeah.
missing time.
He was.
Wow.
That was the same
And-
as Michael Jordan's number in Charleston State,
You know
right?
what? He went to North Carolina for crying out loud.
You
Like,
at
that
least
is-
had a
how do you not
Carolina,
know?
right?
All right.
See?
What about Le'Veon Bell? A lot of people were dismissing Le'Veon Bell, being like, "Oh, what a terrible game! He had 20 points."
Yeah.
Are we going to see this?
Yeah.
Is Adam? Does it depend?
Adam
on who's the
Gase
head
is a
coach?
whammy, that's for sure.
Does it depend on
No
who the head
way.
coach is going to be on Sunday?
Will he be the head coach on Sunday?
I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, look, Le'Veon Bell obviously had a great game. It was a volume-based game, though it didn't get into the end zone, but had those 8 catches, which saves you in PPR leagues. Obviously would have liked to see the Jets perform a lot better. This team, guys, I just really there's nothing else to say at this
They beat the
point.
Cowboys.
I still don't know how that is possible, but there's just not much you can say at this point. Lev Bell's now dealing with a knee injury, had to get an MRI today. Yeah, I mean, it's not looking
It
good
was
for
sad
Bell here.
to watch.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm sure Patriots fan is sad about the Jets being bad.
I'm not sad about anything being a Patriots fan.
I didn't think so.
I wouldn't think
wouldn't
so.
think
But
so, no.
But
This
either
didn't age well.
Would you?
Cut that off and
I
play
would
it.
love for that to die on social media. This didn't age well. Like, shut
That's
up.
pretty much grounds for being muted or blocked if you hit me with a
Like you can mute.
Mute?
You can mute.
Mute?
You can't
Mute.
Move.
I can mute it. It's moot to me. But either one of you playing Le'Veon Bell?
I would, just because his schedule down the stretch is actually really good. Like, I mean, they've got the Dolphins again. They've got the Bengals at some point. Like, there are a lot of really bad defenses on the Jets' schedule. And he's, like, getting garbage time stuff.
What about Melvin Gordon, though? Huge game against the Chargers.
Finally.
Was it a change at the offensive coordinator that made that happen?
Yeah, I think I'm in on Melvin Gordon, which means I'm going to get burned.
I know, right? The moment we get back on the Gordon train, he's
I'm
just
gonna
going to screw us
burned.
over again. Look, I actually think this is a bit of a whammy. I think this is the game script this past week kind of set this
perfect.
up. The
That
Packers.
means it's bad, Ricky.
I still don't get it.
Yeah, it's okay. The Packers basically did not show up in this game at all. Basically, every single possession they had was a 3-and-out almost in the first 3 quarters. Aaron Rodgers just could not move the ball. And
Which is wild that the Chargers could go on the road and get a win like
Would
this.
you
Hey.
stop? Would you stop?
yeah, the
Aaron
stuff-
Rodgers, though, is only good in October. Like, look at his October numbers, off the charts. November, boom, there it is.
I feel like you're making that up.
Yeah.
I'm not. He was the best. His numbers in October are historic.
Okay.
And then he goes back to just
Historic, like they're good.
yeah.
Okay.
And then he goes back to being the pedestrian quarterback he's always been during the majority of his career.
Pedestrian.
Listen, he's up there with Brad Johnson and Trent Dilfer, one
Those
Super
guys,
Bowl
those
wins.
guys have Super Bowls.
Yeah, they all have Super Bowls.
I think that was his point.
What about Damian Williams, though?
Yeah. Well, I mean, LaShawn McCoy fumbled, we saw in that third quarter last week, and then now it's kind of been the Damian Williams show since then. I kind of think this whole Chiefs backfield has just been, a situation we want to
This
avoid
is a whammy.
moving forward. And
Whammy!
I think it's a big old whammy too, Marcus.
Got a whammy there? Ricky Hollywood, what do you think? You're studying the tape.
I'm watching.
pondering.
And like you said, I feel like it's not worth the risk. If there's other options, I'm gonna.
We've been
go.
chasing this Chiefs backfield
It's
all year.
All year.
It's
gonna go
by
different
Mageddon, and it might not be avoidable, so it's one of those things you just got to work and play by ear.